Welcome to 40 Below Zero, an international podcast about life with invisible illnesses, hosted by two guys living with multiple sclerosis. Coming to you from the Keystone State of Pennsylvania, I'm your co-host Nix, and with me on this ride is Terry, a Londoner who calls Ontario home. We're so happy you're here with us as we continue to try and normalize a life that is anything but. So let's get into it. What's going on, Warriors? Welcome back to the show. As always, we're so glad you're here with us. Terry, it's been a week, man.
Yeah, it's been a week.
I can only, I have to, oh, it's been a lot. I can't even talk right now.
What's up? What's up?
Well, first of all, it was a chaotic week. Uh, Ended up in the local emergency room for a panic attack. I thought I was having a heart attack, but I guess that's what they are. So now I've had officially my second one in my life. Don't wish that on anybody. Chest pains, trouble breathing. I felt hypoxic, like my fingers were going like weird, and so I was like, well, it's time to go. In my head, I'm like, don't panic. Just go to the ER and they'll figure it out.
Hold on, bro.
All while I'm panicking.
Was it, of course, but was this in like when did it start? In the middle of like chaos, or it just started?
Just started. I was actually returning something from Amazon.
Yeah,
I just went to one of those Amazon drop-off places, and
yeah.
all of a sudden it was like just everything caved in, and I
Damn
could,
you, Amazon.
yeah,
Just joking.
yeah,
Damn,
oh my,
man. I'm sorry,
yeah.
bro. Was
It
it in
was,
public? Then you started feeling this shit?
oh yeah, I was in line to return the item.
Man.
So I worked on some breathing techniques that I, have been practicing. Um, I tried to keep myself as calm as I could. Um, but then, so I went to the ER, and I calmly walked up to the woman who checks people in, and she was like, "What brings you in today?" And I was like, "Well, I think I'm having a heart attack." I said, "I have sharp chest pain." I'm describing all my symptoms,
Yeah, yeah.
and she's like, "Okay, come right this way." And then they just full protocol, go hard as they can to make sure,
Bro,
everything's all right.
I'm so sorry that when I just have to ask a question. So if I
Sure.
go to the emergency room and like I go in for a sore arm, but I tell
Hmm.
them I think I'm having a heart attack, would they just bring me in?
I mean, yes, but that's kind of a crappy thing to do. I don't recommend it because somebody behind you might be coming in with an actual heart
I get
attack.
it. I
So
get I get it.
I don't recommend
I'm
doing
just
that.
curious. That's all. Yeah, yeah.
Um, so they ran the protocol, quick EKG, chest X-ray, blood work, put an IV in, and then sat me back out in the waiting room. 6 hours later, I'm still sitting in the waiting room because, as we've talked about on the show, there's not a lot of hospitals in my area right now.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting in the waiting room trying to calm myself down, um, just trying to focus. But when you're a room when you're a room in a room with like 60 to 70 other people who all have their own things going on, it's
Yeah.
kind of hard to just kind of block it all out. But I did. Um, so 6 hours later, still haven't seen anybody, haven't talked to anybody, nothing.
They
Um,
must have known that.
yeah, I think they knew. Well, here's what ended up happening.
Yeah.
You're right. Even I knew at that point. I was like, okay, I'm not dying. So I went back up to the window, and I said to the guy, I said, "Hey, listen, I just want to make sure my insurance is going to cover this visit if I leave." And he, looked in the computer, gave me some. He's like, "I can't officially give you any advice, but all the things that you have had done, insurance would pay for as like a regular visit because you were seen, you were treated." He said the fact that you haven't gotten to bed yet, um, doesn't really matter to your insurance. They're just going to cover what you had done. So I said, okay. I said, I hate to be that guy, but can you estimate about how long it's going to be until a bed will be available?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
and he was like, well, averaging, he's like probably another 8 hours, honestly. And he's like,
That is insane.
and he said to go upstairs, as they call it, to get an actual
Yeah.
bed on a floor somewhere. He said to go upstairs is probably going to be 2 to 3 days. And I said, okay. I said, what do I got to do to sign myself out? He said, are you sure you want to do that? I said, well, if I was actively dying from a heart attack, I'm I'm pretty sure no one would have let me sit in the waiting room for 6 hours. At least I would hope not.
Yeah.
To which he responded, well, they read the EKGs within 10 minutes. And I said, oh, so 15 minutes after I arrived, you guys knew I wasn't having a heart attack. He's like, I guess. So I felt bad for this guy because he's just the guy who, checks
Yeah,
people
yeah,
in.
yeah,
He's not
yeah,
the doctor or anything. I was trying not to ask him any medical questions, and I kept telling him, I know you can't answer this. Like, I know this isn't your job.
yeah.
So I said, okay, how do I get the IV out and get rolling? Because I'm going to sign myself out. So, um, for the first time ever, I walked out of a hospital before seeing a doctor. So,
You had an IV plugged into you already?
yeah, that's what they do now because they know you're going to wait so long. Because
Okay.
depending on what you're there for,
Yeah,
um, in my case, if it was a heart attack, they would have given me more medication as an
yeah.
intervention method. So they would have already needed. So yeah, that was wild. I was like, and you know what? Honestly, I went home and it really didn't help my panic attack the next 4 hours. I was like, oh my God, I saw myself out of the hospital. I walked away from care, like, oh my God. But I looked, thankfully, all of my test results showed up in my patient portal on their
Nice,
website before I even left the hospital. So I looked
nice.
at my results and I was like, oh yeah, these are all within range. Yeah, I'm going home. I'm not going to wait 8 hours for a doctor to tell me I'm fine and going home. I literally saw it.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yo,
So,
did you call anybody before you went to the hospital, or did you just
oh
go on your
yeah,
own? Okay, all right,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah.
But and no one met you there, obviously. You're always the guy who goes alone. I'm not. I'm the guy who's like, let's go. Who's in my life?
Well, I called Kit and John, and
Yeah,
uh, John came up to meet me. And he hung out for, I would say, about 45 minutes. And then I looked at him and I was like, hey, listen, I was like, I really appreciate you sitting here, but you're actually gonna get sick by coming in here because there's just, a room full. It's like a petri dish in there now.
I get it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
People are from everywhere and the wait's forever. So it just, honestly, it just sucks for, it was just, seeing the transformation. And I know we've talked about this a bunch, but actually experiencing it for the first time, it was kind of, I understand now why people don't go to the ER.
Are we talking about the hospital closures that happened?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So the hospital I went to is like the
Yeah.
last man standing, you
Yeah.
know?
Shit.
Yeah. And it's, yeah, seeing it go from, 20 people be like a busy night there, be like, oh man, it's so crowded. There's 20 people. Now there's like 70. It's an unreal transformation. So I got to give a lot of credit to the workers that show up every day and just slog through it to try to help people because I was talking to my phlebotomist as he was drawing my blood, and he said they've seen a what do you say, 80 to 120 patient increase a day.
That's crazy, man.
And I'm like, man, that's wild. He goes, yeah. He says, I just come in and just keep plugging, drawing blood all day. It's just no breaks.
And hospitals aren't really a social place to be at. Like everyone
No.
is quiet. There's no
Yeah.
talking.
No.
There's might
Well,
be
everyone's sick, dealing with their stuff. Actually, everyone was sitting in the waiting room kind of complaining. And I'm like, yeah, but this is the result of everything else happening. It's no one here's fault
yeah,
as to why, you know what I mean? Like there's always been this many sick people. They've just been spread out. And we've been super fortunate to have, five different options. Now we don't.
yeah, yeah.
So
Did you have to pay for the visit,
Not yet.
but
The
you're
bill
gonna
hasn't
get.
come.
Oh my God. See, this is the difference between us, right?
Hmm.
But the
Well,
difference between.
my insurance will cover it. That's for sure.
Oh, okay, okay,
But I
okay,
will get a
cool.
bill.
Okay, okay, and nice. Okay, as long as it's covered,
Yeah.
because
Right.
over here we think like, oh, we have a sore finger, we go to the
Hmm.
hospital when
Right.
your doctor is not available.
Right.
The wait's always long, always like kind of like that. You know what I mean? But it's different, right?
Hmm.
We're not worried about getting charged stuff. But
And if I'm being totally honest, it has really forced me to rethink how I deal with a flare up
yeah,
or anything that comes along with this. Because prior to all this, I would just send a message to my neurologist, say, "Hey, this is what's happening," and he would say, "Okay, it's probably a good idea." Obviously, he's going to be like, "Oh, yeah, go get it checked out." That's what they always say. But I don't know now. I think I'm going to be one of those people that is really kind of hesitant, and I'm afraid that that is going to cause me some consequences down the line because now it's not so automatic. For the last 12 years, it's been, I'm feeling weird. I go to the hospital.
yeah,
You know,
automatic.
right. My eyesight
I get it.
has stopped working. My eyesight's getting blurry. Go to the hospital. Now it's going to be, all right, let me see if this resolves itself. And let me see if there's a way that I can deal with this outside of the hospital environment. Um, because I, I honestly, I don't want to sit in the waiting room for 8 hours just to be told that I could have handled it with a prednisone script. You know what I mean?
You don't get charged for the longer you're there, right? If you're in the
No,
waiting room.
yeah, yeah,
Okay,
no, no, no,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. It's not.
Well,
Well, I will say this: so I parked in the parking lot, right? The parking lot's not free.
yeah, of
30,
course.
30. When I got out of there, $34 for parking.
It's like a business, bro. They're like,
Yeah, it is. They're
give
like,
him
oh, you
six
want?
hours. If he's
Yeah,
really sick, he'll stay. If he's not,
that's it.
kind of,
It's wild. So now I've sent a message to my neurologist explaining that um this is kind of how I want to go forward. If you're on board with it, then cool. If not, then let me set up a visit and we'll come in and chat about it. But so yeah, I think he's going to be sending me a prednisone script just so I have it, so that when something feels weird, I can just start taking it and call and like message him
yeah,
and it's one of those Z packs, so you get like 6 days worth of medicine. Um, so I think that's where I'm going to start now. And I've never done that before, which is interesting. It's always been, hey, go in, get your Medrol, get all jacked up on 1,000 milliliters a day.
yeah,
Now, so I don't think I'm going to be
yeah.
treating that intensely, which is kind of scary, you know?
Well, let's hope that you don't have to treat anything.
Thanks. I appreciate it because I don't want to either. So
Let's
thank
just
you.
hope that shit never happens. And
Yeah.
tomorrow is your infusion day.
Tomorrow is my infusion day. So
At
that was
the
Thursday. Wait, we didn't even get out of last week, Tara.
Oh, my bad,
My
my
good
bad.
bro,
Okay,
there's
okay,
more.
let's go.
But wait, there's more.
Wait, no, never mind. Yes, that wasn't even right.
You follow me, camera guy? No.
I don't get it.
Uh,
What was that from? Anyway,
the ShamWow guy,
uh,
the Shammy. That guy was a. Never mind.
we talked about this before. I know what
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
ShamWow is, but I
Yeah,
don't
huh?
know.
Yeah, he ended up getting in a lot of trouble for just how he was. So anyway, um, so that was Thursday. Friday I had the MRI. That was an interesting experience. MRIs are always fun.
Yeah.
Um,
Did you you know that song everyone's talking about?
yes,
I'm gonna send it to you. Okay.
yes, yeah.
I can't do it, but you know what I'm talking about.
You have
I'm
to
gonna
put it. You have to link. You have to clip it in so
I'm
that
going
people
to.
Yeah, clip it in so that people understand what it.
What about copyright issues? I don't want it's gonna be like
Just
4 seconds of it.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, yeah. Just four
Here we go.
seconds.
That song. Yes,
All right,
yes.
cool. All right. Um, the only it's pretty standard. I haven't gotten the results yet, but pretty standard experience.
Yeah.
Except for I got nauseous when they injected the dye.
Okay.
So they had to sit me up, which, as you know, I don't know if you, as most people know, moving for an MRI is absolutely the worst thing you can do because it forces them to redo tests and takes longer and all that. So they had to sit me up. I wasn't doing great, and this was another new development. I think maybe I'm pretty sure it was my fault for not preparing myself correctly because I had a meal before I went.
Did they tell
And
you to
well, no, but I typically don't eat a lot on MRI days. Like
okay.
um, but I think I ate too much before I went there. So when they injected the dye, my stomach got a little wonky. Um, I mean, no big deal. Nothing really happened except for it took longer than usual just because they had to realign everything. So that took like an extra 2 second, 2 seconds or however long it took.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't know.
Did you
I find it pretty relaxing in there.
did you feel dizzy or whatever as soon as they were giving you the dye? Or was it
Yeah.
like
As
okay.
they were, it was like almost immediate. They were like,
Em-
all right, we're going to start. And I was
Nerves.
like, "Ooh." I was like, sit me up, sit me up.
Nerves.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna say it is. I don't
Yeah.
it wasn't a side effect of the dye. It
Mm-mm.
was no,
No,
okay, it was
no.
nerves. Okay. Well, I'm glad that you got it over with and it's all good and we'll
Thanks.
see what happens.
Yeah, more results. Oh, speaking of results, man, this show is becoming like catching everyone up on my medical stuff.
Yeah, it's cool.
Um, um, oh, I remember I told you about the Cologuard last week. I told you
Yeah.
we're gonna, yeah. So I got my results.
Okay.
Um, I have to get a colonoscopy.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah.
so I'm like, why didn't we just skip to that? Why'd you have to put me through?
Yeah.
Not that it was like that embarrassing.
You didn't actually ask though. You just
Well, I asked,
like,
I
why'd you put me
did.
through that? If
Well,
you
no, I asked. I was like, well, couldn't we have just skipped? I messaged my primary and I said, I guess it's time for a colonoscopy. So and I jokingly said, I guess we should have just skipped right to that. You know,
yeah,
not that I was mad. It's just, I don't
you
know.
said it. You said it for
Yeah,
a reason.
yeah.
Shit.
So I got to get that looked at because, and you know what? I will say this, even though all the literature that they provide you and even the commercial
Yeah.
says that there's false positives and false negatives, which I'm really hoping this is what this is.
Okay.
Um, it still scares you.
Always,
You
man.
know, when you get a test result and it's like it comes back what did it say? Abnormal on the portal. And then when I looked into it, it said positive. So I was like, oh, great. I got a
Yeah.
positive test result. But really all it means is you got to get another test.
Okay. Yeah,
So we'll
bro.
see
Of
what the other
course.
test. Yeah, and I'm like, why you gotta scare people like that?
yeah.
Why can't you just change it
Facts.
from why can't you just change it from to the two options or the two answers being or the two I'm sorry, the two results being negative and requires further testing? Why does it have to say positive on there?
Why can't it instead of say positive, say not a big deal. Just come on in.
Yeah, right. Why you gotta scare everybody?
I get it. I know.
So that
Yeah.
was my Friday.
Okay.
It's like
Yay.
the longest week ever. I'm serious. But then over the weekend, I had some positive. As you're aware, I got to see one of my oldest, oldest because we are old, one of my oldest and dearest friends. Um, we were in we were sixth grade through graduation, so all through middle and high school. One of my good friends came back into town to visit, so shout out to Jeremy.
nice.
He is one of our most devoted listeners. He
Yeah.
said he puts it on in his office every time a new episode comes out while he's doing his work. So
Sorry, Jeremy.
so no, it was good to catch up with him. Good to see him. He is a very big supporter of what we do. Um, so it was nice to see him. So glad he's doing well. But yeah, we had a fun
awesome. Thank
time,
you.
and of course, I had to break into your night and
No, it's fine, bro. It's
get
fine.
you
Don't
on
worry.
uh Instagram. We had the video chat for a while, so you could see all the.
Yeah, bro, you put me on the spot.
I
First of
did.
all, I was getting a call. I was in the middle. I told you I was gaming with a buddy,
Yeah.
and it was a phone game. We were just talking and having whatever. Yeah, because I'm
Hmm.
so cool on Friday night. Was that Friday night?
Mm-mm.
Saturday
It
night?
was.
Because Friday night, you're yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. So and then I'm like, oh, I gotta call Nick back because this guy never calls me at this time.
Yeah. It
So
was
I
pretty
called you
late.
back, and then you put me on the spot. I was like, hey, what the fuck?
That's what I
There's
do.
so
Come
many
on now.
people there. No, but it
Yeah.
was cool, man. I appreciate the call always. You know that.
Yeah. Um, yeah, it was a great time catching. And you know how it is when you catch up with old people. It's like you go down memory lane, you start talking about all the crazy stuff you used to do.
Yeah,
Then you
yeah,
start talking about all the stuff you can't do. Now that
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, I'm so old, my shoulder hurts or whatever. So it was a good time.
Did any
So
of your friends that I saw yesterday, 2 days ago, is any of them in law enforcement as well?
none of those guys are, no.
Just you, eh?
Mm-mm. Yeah, just me. My one friend, he's the
All right,
manager, but
guys. All right, guys. Settle down. Is
yeah.
that you? Just
No,
kidding.
not when I'm there. Um, my one buddy runs a bank. Jeremy is living the musician hustle out in LA. And he owns a school for that teaches kids. It's such a cool group of guys.
Nice, nice.
So that's what I've been up to and how crazy this disease has been for me last week. And yes, next tomorrow, or if you're listening to this on Wednesday, yesterday, um,
Yeah,
is my infusion day. And thank God, because man, this one really feels like I'm like crawling across the finish line to get to my medication. Um, Summertime being what it is and having, the negative effects that it does, um, combined with having to push the infusion out another week because of scheduling. So it's like an extra week of crap gap and an extra week about, and I'll tell you what, on Thursday, I thought that my heart palpitation and my chest pain, I thought it was, what's the first thing you and I go to? It's a flare up,
yeah.
right? So I thought I was like, oh crap.
Relapse,
I
flare up.
was like,
Yeah,
yeah. I was like, I didn't make it. Like I was like, because every time we get close to infusion day, I'm like, okay, just hang in there, just hang in there. Just I know if you feel bad, just keep going. You're almost there.
yeah.
But then it's like, uh-oh. And then I'm thinking I didn't make it. I'm like, uh-oh. I'm gonna end up in the hospital for an extended stay. So thankfully that wasn't the case, but that's where your mind goes, right? Right to the end.
Has
So
that ever happened to you where you didn't make it and you ended up in the hospital right before an infusion?
when they not before an infusion necessarily, but when well, actually kind of, yeah. There was a
That's
point in
scary,
time a
bro.
couple of years ago where I switched. I missed I missed a Tysabri infusion,
Okay.
and I didn't have a neurologist. It was like there was this crazy time period where my neurologist left the hospital. I didn't have a replacement. I was switching medications. So there was this gap in time between Tysabri. It was like a 3 month gap between Tysabri and then the new neuro that I saw wanted to put me on a Baggio, which another great drug for those that it works for, but it just didn't work for me.
Yeah.
So for me, going from Tysabri to a
What's
Baggio,
that? I think it's called Tisabri. Go ahead.
um, there was a long enough period of time where I didn't have any medication, so I had a rebound flare up. So my
Okay.
body was like, "Hey, there's no guards at the party," and it went nuts.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, so yeah, at one
Maybe
point I
that's
did.
maybe that's why you felt dizzy and all that stuff in the MRI too, right?
Could have
The
been.
same.
Yeah, no, you're probably right. It's just that time where I don't have
We don't know
the
nothing,
meta.
man.
Yeah, they don't even know nothing, man. We're just
We should-
we're all just winging it, really. Let's just
yeah.
yeah, exactly. Rolling the dice,
Yeah.
hoping for the best. Um, yeah, that's why it's so important. We got to be nice to each other because we're all just winging it.
Yeah. Sorry,
Hmm.
bro. That seemed like a rough week, man.
It
I
was.
thanks for calling, bro.
Yeah.
In your good time. Thanks for not calling in your
I
bad
should have called.
times.
I should have called you from the ER. I'd be like, "Would you look at this?" just just live stream. They'd have rushed me out of there real quick if I started videoing.
Yeah. Do you have signs in your hospital that say, like, basically be polite? Um,
A lot of signs that say respect other people's privacy, that kind of a thing.
oh,
Like don't
okay,
talk
no.
about patient stuff, but everybody in the waiting room's talking about everything that they're dealing with. They're like,
We
"What are
have
you here for? What are
signs
you here for?"
they will not take abuse. So nurses
Oh,
will
yeah.
not, even if you raise your voice, they will not take
Yeah,
abuse.
and you know what? Rightfully so, because they didn't
Of
sign up
course.
to be
I'm
abused.
not
Yeah,
saying, yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. But yeah, they kind of have signs like that. Something like, rude patients will be escorted or something. I don't know. It's just
We'll
like
be
probably
beat up.
won't be. Yeah, this is America, dude. No, we're not that nice.
It's so funny.
Be nice or we'll get you out. So yeah, that was a hell of a week.
Cool.
Hopefully this one's a lot calmer.
Not cool, but yeah. Um,
Uh,
so I started this thing called the RT list. I always
okay,
have my RT list around. What does
okay.
RT stand for? Random Terry.
There you go.
So whenever I have random thoughts, I write it down. I'm like, I'm going to talk to Nick about this. I don't care if it's like a little 10-second conversation. It's just like,
Hit me.
so
Wait,
first thing on my list is why is the sky blue? No, I'm just joking. Okay, so
I can answer
uh
that. No.
um okay, what did I have written here? I have so much stuff written. First of all, I went to the beach on Saturday,
Really?
Friday. Yes. I went to a beach called Port Stanley just to see the boardwalk.
Okay.
So, and I saw it was so hot that day, so we couldn't even get out of the car. It was incredibly hot, man.
How
I
hot?
was 32
Because I'm
degrees Celsius
32. Yeah.
plus.
Because I'm, down here today. We have
Yeah.
a heat index of 41 degrees Celsius.
Oh, it's getting hot. I'm in sitting in
Yeah.
AC, man. Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. And I get the phone call. It's going to be a hot day. Keep all your AC on. And I'm like, yeah, yeah. So, and I got to see the boardwalk. Now, the thing about the boardwalk, it's a boardwalk to the beach.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm like, oh, and it's not that wide. So I'm just saying the ups and the downs.
Right.
So it's not that wide. So strollers go on there too. It's not just for wheelchairs, it's for people who have kids.
Hmm.
And then I realize you get to the end of the boardwalk. I'm like, then what? Oh, then usually people get up and they go to where they have to sit. I'm like, but I can't get up. I got to stay in my chair. And from the boardwalk, there's no spots. Like, what? Yo, it's not
Hmm.
made for, like, I don't get it. Why is everyone saying it's no? You tell me, why do you think it's made for wheelchairs? Really, is it? It's made for to make it easier to get somewhere if you're on wheels, like
Yeah.
strollers. I don't think people in wheelchairs actually go down it unless someone carries me to where I have to go. Unless you have one of those beach strollers, you know what I'm talking about? The ones that
Yeah,
go
with the big
on.
wheels.
Yeah, so it's cool. I got to see it. It's nice. That's it. That's all I have about that.
Okay. So yeah, I don't know. Was it wide enough for you to even turn around
I
at
didn't
the
go
end?
on it at all. I was
Oh, you
looking at
didn't
it.
go. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I'm yay,
I don't know.
it was too hot. Okay, my next fact. You know what? This is what we'll do. When we have nothing to say, you can always go, what do we have on the RT
Okay.
moment? And I'll be like,
That's work.
oh, well,
I like it.
no more caffeine for me. This is decaf
At all?
at all. Zero. Let me
Okay.
tell you something. I
Yeah.
had my first decaf in the morning 4 days ago, and I don't have washroom issues when I have decaf. What
There
I
is
mean
a
by
lot.
that,
There is a lot of science behind that.
dude, I know coffee, caffeine is the diuretic. I know
Hmm.
that. And I've read about it, but it's night and day, man.
Hmm.
If you're worried about whatever they call it, weakness, dribblage, I don't know what they call it,
Right.
but it's caffeine that does it for me. For me, decaf, dude, I got no problems, no urgencies. I'm like a changed guy right now. And just
Okay.
decaf. And I don't care about the caffeine. It doesn't keep me up anyway. Look at me. I'm always wired.
Yeah, right. And I'm sure you didn't even notice the taste difference. I'm sure you didn't
I
notice
don't.
anything.
I'm not a
Right.
connoisseur, I guess. I guess connoisseurs are like, ew,
Hmm.
because the beans are watered down, right, to make it decaf. And it still has caffeine in it. Like, you know, instead of like, I don't even know the measurements.
Right, right. But I know what you're saying.
90 milligrams, it's 2 milligrams. You know what I mean? Yeah. So,
Yeah, they can't get rid of all of it, but they get rid of a lot of it.
yeah.
They used to use a chemical back in the day. They used to use I don't know how they do it either, but they used to, way long time ago, used to use a chemical called benzene. And they would filter the water. They would wash the beans in this chemical
You know
to
what
make to
benzene means in Arabic?
what?
Gas.
Yeah, it's
I,
kind of
I
what it
think,
was.
isn't that an English word too? Benzene?
I don't know.
I gotta look it up.
But that was the chemical they used, but that was a long
That's
time ago. They haven't
weird.
done that in a long time.
Makes sense.
Um, yeah, that's I can say that I have also severely reduced caffeine intake. Um, uh, but that was part of my overall lifestyle change. Um, Once I got it into my brain that I was not, in fact, going back to work and it was time to change who you were, because I was still trying to hang on, you know.
Of course.
Uh, Matter of fact, my first hospital stay ever, um, I was drinking coffee like I was still at work.
Yeah.
And not that, no, well, look, I'll just say this. No one told me at the time that I should not be consuming that much coffee and not doing anything, like literally lying in bed, in the hospital bed, watching television.
Yeah.
And people were always bringing me cups of coffee, They're like, oh, we'll go see Nick. We'll bring him a coffee.
My
And,
life.
yeah. And I'm like, and I was like so happy to see everybody that I would just sit and drink coffee with them. But I ended up consuming so much coffee that, combined with the Solumedrol and all the other stuff that I was getting, it sent me into an AFib incident. So it gave me a heart attack. Um, so after that, what was
Bro,
that,
you had a
11?
heart attack? Did we talk about this before?
No, yeah, when we talked about my AFib incident.
Okay.
They're they're
Sorry.
very similar, but they're in the same family of things.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, it caused a cardiac issue. So that's kind of when I gave it up that long ago. I started really thinking like, okay, maybe I should not be doing this anymore, which kind of sucked because, I very much enjoyed all that coffee I was drinking, but now I don't miss it. So, but yeah, I understand what you're saying about the having to go to the bathroom and not having urgency. That helps. It helps when you
Yeah.
stop. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. 100%. And it was, because even if I have a caffeinated coffee, which sounds weird, right? Caffeinated coffee, but even if I have that in the morning,
Right.
oh, even if it's out of me in the evening time, I still feel the
Hmm.
weakness. And I didn't know that until I had decaf. And at evening times, I'm like, holy shit, it's night and day. It's totally
Hmm.
different. So yeah,
Well, good for you.
thanks, bro.
Glad you were able to find something. And that what was that? That was a tiny, tiny adjustment in your life that had a huge benefit.
Yeah,
And it's those tiny little things that add up to an overall better
totally,
health
bro.
picture. Like, it's everybody thinks you have to do 1,000 push-ups or, ride, hundreds of kilometers on your bicycle to make a difference. It's not. It's just consistency and tiny little adjustments. That's really all it is.
It's almost like, say your arm is in so much pain and you're
Mm-hmm.
just so miserable, and then the pain gets relieved 10%. All of a sudden you're like, you start to smile. And then someone says to you, oh, the pain's gone. You're like, no, but it feels better. And
Mm-hmm.
you're smiling because it feels better. It's
Yep.
kind of that, my life isn't cured, but I mean, shit got easier.
Yeah, right.
Not
What else is
shit,
on what else
better.
is on the RT list?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're doing it.
Yeah, no, that's cool, bro. I'm random, Terry. I was talking to my buddy who lives in the other building,
Mm-hmm.
and he went out with his girl who has issues with her hips now. So she uses walking sticks for support.
Mm-hmm.
And they were in some public setting where a guy looked at her and goes, what did he say? Oh, those sticks get a lot of mileage or something like that. And the boyfriend got pissed off. He's like, oh
Yeah,
yeah.
well,
He's like, why do people make stupid comments like that? I'm like, yo, welcome to my world.
yeah, right.
You're gonna get a speeding ticket. Whoa, slow down there. You know what I mean? And he's like,
Yeah,
oh my God, bro. And I'm like, you and I in public would not be good together. You know, me, you, and Kits in public would not be good together. Like, I cannot keep my mouth shut. Remember that lady who was like, oh, you just keep at it. You'll get stronger. And I looked at her, I'm
yeah,
like, you have no idea what the fuck I have. And then
yeah.
Katrina's like, inside, let's get inside. Let's go. Let's go. Cause she knew I was going to lose my shit.
Yeah, everybody says, I hope you get better soon, or I hope your knee heals because everybody assumes it's some kind of sports injury or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know why people feel the need to just randomly blurt out comments to people with mobility devices. That's so
Remember,
weird.
we talked about a mobility device. We talked about and um, a tool to help you, like glasses, helps your, you know, your handicap, your eyes. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying, right?
Yeah,
How come people don't go, oh my God, I can see for, you know, no one comments about that, but they comment on stuff they don't usually see every day. And I don't
yeah,
know. It gets irritating. But I was happy. I was happy that Dave, my buddy, he was like, he spoke up and he got mad. And I'm like, yo, man, that's my world.
yeah.
And,
Seriously,
you know, so
I
yeah.
I will say that I will give a compliment every time I see people with a rollator. I'm usually like, cool rollator, because they're cool, as far as devices go.
Okay. That's okay, I guess.
Yeah, I usually go, hey, cool rollator. And I usually only do it when I'm in my chair. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes it better or
No, I
worse.
think, no, that makes it fine. Not who am I to say that makes it fine? But no, that makes it fine. Trust me. Like, if you're walking and you're right, and you said that, it would still be okay. But I think he or she would feel, maybe this is just me talking a little shame. Like, you're pointing out that I need to use this and I don't want
Right.
to use it. But when you're also,
Yeah. I usually go, hey, cool rollator. And I just keep on
yeah.
rolling.
Sometimes I use my scooter, you know,
Hmm.
and and someone looks at it and goes, "Oh my God, that's so cool." I get a little pissed off inside. I don't even respond. I just
Right.
go, okay, buddy.
And I will say that every time I have said it, there has been a smile and a thank you. They'd be like, oh, thank you. Because I guess, people,
It's different though. If you're in a chair or
yeah.
if you even have a cane, it's, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I kind of equate it to if you were to say I I love those shoes, you know what I mean? Or cool jacket, you know what I mean? That kind of a thing. Like it's a genuine
Yeah,
compliment. It's
I
not,
get it. I get it. I get it.
so
It's just me because when I'm in a device, I'm kind of, don't look at me kind of a deal. Almost,
eh,
almost.
I hear
I know,
that.
bro. That's me. You know me. That's my ego.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I
that's
get
when
it.
I'm in a scooter. When I'm in my chair, I'm like, look at me, I look cool, but now I'm like, is there any 10-year-olds out there? And that's another thing. Oh God, I got so many people that reached out to me, man.
I bet.
I can't respond. Dude, wow. Dude,
A lot of comments on that one.
the only thing I don't like is when someone comes up to me and goes, so any 10-year-olds beat you up today?
Who
It's like,
did
dude,
that?
it's not a joke, right? Like,
Yeah.
but and yeah, I'm like, ha ha ha, funny, ha ha ha. I'm gonna kill you later. No, I'm
Well,
just joking.
everyone that talked to me about it, um, was ready to come up to
And what,
where
beat
you,
up 10-year-olds?
yeah, basically. Well, actually, not them, their parents.
Yeah.
That's what
I
I,
don't know why I didn't think of that.
yeah, I got a few people that told me that they were that they had gotten mad about hearing about that and were like, where does he live? We should go talk to those parents. I said, no, 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 we're not going to do that.
Thanks, bro.
But it's London, Ontario.
The next day, I'm like, I'm gonna go get my Timmies. And Katrina's like, I'm gonna walk with you. I'm like, wait, I don't need you to walk.
Got an
No, no, no.
escort.
She's like, no, I want to get some sun. I'm like, yeah, you're just doing that to make
Uh-huh.
sure I'm okay. Eh? Funny.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So that's that.
You finish your RT list?
Dude, it's just gonna expand. Every time it's gonna
Okay,
get longer and longer. And
good. I like it. I like it.
I have one more thing if you want me to talk about
Yeah.
driving.
Were you
Why?
driving?
No, no. Bro, between you and I have accepted not driving.
Oh,
And
okay.
like someone will come up to me and say, "Do you still drive?" And I'm like, and I always go, "I still have my license." No, I don't drive. Why not? I'm like, and then they always try to push me to get the devices, or you should go here, and they'll
Right.
give you
Yeah, because
license.
the stick and all. Yeah, I
Well,
saw
not
you.
even the stick. That's I don't even know if that's legal, but not even the stick. Getting a proper car, getting because you have to get a different license for that car.
Really?
Bro, what if I've accepted not driving? First of all, I haven't had insurance. I haven't paid insurance in 6 years. Do
That's
you know
gotta be nice.
how high my insurance will be if I get it now? Do you know
Yeah,
that
that's
once
true.
you stop paying insurance, that's it. Your insurance is you're like a new driver, and then your insurance
Yep.
gets skyrocketed.
Yep.
So I'm not paying insurance. I'm not paying maintenance. I'm not paying this and that. And I'm helping Katrina a lot whenever she has something with her car and stuff like that.
Sure.
But I've accepted it and I'm okay with it. Why are
Yeah, well,
people still trying to push me into driving? And they
well,
usually say your freedom.
yeah,
What, you need a car to be free?
right.
Like I'm
That
free. I'm
yeah,
free.
people have all often and all pretty much always associated having the ability to walk out your front door, get behind the wheel of a vehicle, and go wherever you want as the definition of freedom.
I get it. I
But
have that in different
you have it
ways.
too. Right. But it also helps that you live in a very urban area, so you have access to things that, people who live, let's see, in a rural or mountainous region don't have. I mean, you can call an Uber anytime you want. You can schedule your transit.
So let me tell you why it bothers me. Because I still have an ego and all that crap, we know, but
Mhm.
I used to have a nice car. I was who I drove, who I was, who I drove. I was as cool as what I drove. Does that make sense?
It, it
And
does.
it kind of represented me because,
Sure.
I loved being in a car. I was a good standard driver. I, I, um, I was very comfortable and yeah, it was kind of my image. I know that, maybe it wasn't, maybe that's what I thought, but to me, it was my image and
Right.
now I don't drive anymore, and I've accepted it, man. I've accepted it, and I grew out my beard. I have a cool chair. I'm getting my attention in other ways, and I've
Mhm.
accepted it. And I feel like when people say you don't drive, it's almost like they're making me feel like I was kind of right about my past, where people do look at you depending on what you drive. That's how cool you
Sure.
are. Does it make sense? I can't even explain myself
Yes, it
properly.
makes total sense. A lot of people,
So it's kind of shaming me now. Yeah, I don't have a
yeah, a little
car.
bit.
I have a bicycle. You know what I mean? That's kind of. I used to have a joke when someone, as a joke, you want to act tough to someone. You're like, I take the bus. I don't know why. I don't. Never mind. Scratch that. Anyway, yeah. So, what if I did get my license? I was talking to Doris about this, by the way. Doris, remember Doris? We had her
I
as
do.
a guest.
Yep.
We should. She has much more to say. We were
Have her
talking
come
about
back.
this.
Let's
Yeah,
chat
yeah,
again.
totally, totally. She didn't. We didn't have her for enough time when she was on here. She only dug into like 2% of her life. Anyway, we were talking about this, and I'm like, hey, what if someone made me feel bad enough where I actually got my license, got behind a car, and then ended up getting an accident and killed myself? I'm just saying, all because like, why are you adding to my life when my life is okay right now?
Yeah.
I understand if there was work and this would make my life a lot easier if I got a car and I went to work, but just for the fact of like proving that I can still drive.
Yeah.
All right, that's it. I'm done talking about
And
it.
to well, and to who? Who would you be proof like you see the person who makes that comment like what, every so often, not all the time. I'm sure it's not Katrina telling you to get a license.
It's kind of every time I meet someone new.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Well, that's because they're curious. And once again, it goes back to what we had talked about where people project their own fears about the situation that you're in to try to say, to see how they would behave and how they would feel. So they look at you and say, here's a guy in a wheelchair. If I end up in a wheelchair, I'm going to be terrified to lose X, Y, and Z. And one of those things is the ability to drive. So they want to know, is it possible? So once again, you have to kind of, they're putting you in a position of being the spokesperson for the disability.
You answered my question. I could whenever someone asks me that, I'm going to say, yeah, I could. And it's very easy to get my license and all that stuff, but I choose not to.
Yeah. Just,
And I think that would can end it.
yeah.
I never thought of saying that, man. I always go, no, but I have my license.
Yeah, but see, what just the way that like even jokingly when you just said no, that's your internal, that's what you feel when someone asks. Inside your head, you go, shame, but I still
Yes.
have, so it goes, shame, but I can still do this. So you're trying to justify your position to the person who made that statement when all you have to do is say, no. Do you drive? No. Like,
Did you ever watch Mad TV?
oh, I loved it. Yeah.
Look what I can do.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
That's what I feel it is.
Hmm. So yeah, that's what a lot of people do. They're so terrified.
Makes sense, man.
And even and it's a scale. So like there's even things that we're terrified of, me and you, that other people are living through, and we're like projecting that fear towards them, and they're just living their lives going, yeah, I use the tools I need, I get the help I need, like I do, just living life. And we're like, oh man, I couldn't live like that. And they're just like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just life. So yeah, it's just one of those things, man. One of those things, because you and I and a lot of people like us exist outside what the standard, quote unquote, life is supposed to look like. You're supposed to be able to walk. You're supposed to be able to drive. You're supposed to be able to get a job. You're supposed to be able to do this. So when you fall outside of that, you start to feel bad about yourself.
Yeah.
And then when people say, can you still do, and then they reference something inside the standard, such as driving, you feel bad.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the question's not asked to make you feel bad. It's a general curiosity about your life, but it's not, I don't know, it's not just not received that way. And it's tough because you don't know. They're just trying to make conversation.
Yeah. I get it. Everyone's intention is good.
Yeah, right. So you just gotta kind of like understand that and just say, okay, well, that's how people are. And but yeah, we often find me too. Like I often find myself being a spokesperson, which is fine because that's what I want to do and that's what we do, you and I.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and I end up educating a lot of people, which is fine. I spend a lot of time talking about how the disease comes to be because a lot of people still think it's like you can get it.
Bro,
You know?
I totally wanted to talk to you about the sprint program that I was a part of that they did research
Okay.
and they have presentation that's going to different schools and it's really cool. I have the summary page right here. I wanted to read it.
So
It
read
might,
it.
it might take about 2 3 minutes. Okay. It's really cool, man. And I love it because this is research for men,
Okay.
right? It's not excluding women. It's just like,
I got you.
all right, so let me read limited care options for men living with MS, a call to action. That is the title. Okay.
Okay.
Multiple sclerosis does not affect everyone in the same way. Men and women experience different symptoms, disease progression, and treatment responses. Yet, most MS care option research does not consider these differences. Our team wanted to find out how current studies on MS care options consider the unique needs of men living with MS. We reviewed over 14,000 scientific articles. We found only 6 studies that looked at how care options affected the health of men, identified as sex or gender. Care options included sex hormone therapy, medication, and group therapy. Sex hormone therapy, specifically testosterone, slowed brain shrinkage in men with progressive MS. Androgen modifying therapies showed increased disease activity in older men with relapsing remitting MS. Tafodil and oral medicine improved sexual function satisfaction. Disease modifying therapies did, this is a summary, by the way. Disease modifying therapies did not have a negative impact on fertility. Finally, completing a support group therapy increased self satisfaction and promoted physical health. These
Okay.
findings should be reviewed with caution. There were a few studies done with a small number of participants. It is encouraging that though there are few studies on care options for men with MS, positive results were seen. Our finding points to a significant gap in current knowledge. Without studying men's specific care options, we missed the chance to improve their health through more tailored care. Future MS research should place a focus on outcomes of care options specific to men. This can be done by changing how studies recruit, design, and analyze their data. This means researchers, funders, clinicians, and men living with MS must work together. By sharing our work, we hope to inspire more inclusive research that recognizes the differences between men and women living with MS. And of course, they put in 40 below zero in there. It's really cool.
Really?
Yeah, it was promoted all over that. So
That's
in the
awesome.
actual
It's so awesome.
presentation that I have, it's
Mhm.
there, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Can
Respect.
you link the presentation on the page on the website?
Let me make sure. Yeah, I can. I
Okay.
can. You
Yeah.
know why?
All
Because
right. Cool.
they want me to bring this with me to my first day of the men's group.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So yeah,
Okay. That's awesome, dude. That is
yeah,
awesome that you're a part
yeah.
of that.
Thanks, bro. Yeah, it was cool. I'm so honored to be a part of it. So
Oh,
yeah,
wow. So you're making
that's
a difference. Look at you.
thanks, bro.
Even
Thanks,
without a
man.
car.
Get out of here. I'm just joking. I'm going. Yeah,
All right.
thanks,
Well,
bro.
we need to hear more about that. Keep us updated on that for
Definitely.
sure when you do the presentation and all that. That's so cool that you're doing that, dude. Um,
Cool.
and I am a benefactor of at least one of those drugs that you mentioned in the study. Um, so that's really cool.
Cool. Which one? I triggered you. I saw you were running
Uh,
something down.
Tadalafil.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. That's the one I heard
Yep.
of.
Hmm.
That's the only one.
Um, wow. It's been a heck of a week. I hope that tomorrow goes well for me. I hope
Me
your week
too.
is uneventful as far as this goes. I hope it's eventful in a positive way.
Yeah.
All right, brother.
Yeah, man. Message me tomorrow while
I
you're
will.
doing your infusion.
Well, I'll probably call you.
Whatever.
So,
Cool.
all right, everyone. Thanks for hanging in with us. As always, you know how to get a hold of us. If you want to come on to the show and share your story, we'd love to have you. Um, we're kind of in the middle of the summer slump right now, which happens every year. So we really appreciate you coming on here to listen to Terry and I talk about our lives, and stuff like that. So, all right, everybody,
Yeah.
brother, talk soon.
Awesome, bro. Talk soon. So check us out at 40belowzero.com. That's 4 letter T below zero.com. Or feel free to reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you. Our email address is info@40belowzero.com. Our personal Instagram account are for Nix, it's Nix_V713. Or for Terry, it's what's_MS. Awesome. Looking forward to hearing from you guys. We'll talk soon.